What's going on, guys? It's your boy Nick, the A24 addict, and today we will be discussing A24's second film outing, Ginger and Rosa. So this film follows the friendship of Ginger and Rosa, played by Elle Fanning and Alice Englert, and it stars the likings of Christina Hendricks, Alessandra Nivola, Annette Bening, Timothy Spall, and Oliver Platt. So as I mentioned, it follows their friendship, but throughout the film, it mainly focuses on how the friendship is starting to crumble due to the fact that Rosa is starting to have a relationship with Ginger's dad, played by Alessandra Nivola. And the whole film follows Ginger's eternal struggle of trying to cope with this emotionally, along with the fact that in the background there's a nuclear war subplot happening throughout the film, as the film takes place in London in 1962 when nuclear war protests were happening. So she's trying to balance that along with the fact that she's losing her best friend, because of the fact that the best friend is with her dad. So that calls for some interesting character study with Ginger, and that's where I'll lead with the pros of this film. The main positive that I could say about this film is definitely, without a doubt, Elle Fanning. Her performance in this film is phenomenal. I'm not sure what the Best Actress category looked like for Oscars that season, but she is absolutely awards worthy here. I kind of saw her character as this like slow brewing teapot, because throughout the film, with just subtle mannerisms and facial expressions from Elle Fanning's performance, you could just see how she's slowly boiling up all these built up emotions that she just is holding in and trying to keep everything together like emotionally. And you really feel for her character, and this leads to this big emotional and cathartic climax towards the end of the film where Elle Fanning just really delivers all these raw emotions, and I thought she did a wonderful job. Along with the rest of the cast, the overall cast does an amazing job. Christina Hendricks is great as the mom, dealing with her own issues. Alessandro Nivola, I thought, was another standout. He does a really great job. Like I said, the overall cast does a great job. Now, on top of the cast, we have really great cinematography from this film. It has a very raw, naturalistic feel to it. It takes its time with the characters and observing what each character is going through, rather than expository dialogue. What I liked that the director utilized here is that she focuses in on the more subtle facial expressions and mannerisms of these various characters. And I thought that was a much more interesting and engaging choice, and it really helps the audience invest in these characters, specifically Elle Fanning's character. And the cinematography with its naturalistic feel really helps set up the environment of these characters, specifically with Ginger and Rosa living as these free teens. Besides that, I did have some gripes and criticisms with the film. First off, as I mentioned, it takes its time with the characters, and it definitely asks of patience with the audience. Despite it being a 90-minute runtime, as a result, it suffers from slow pace. Now, usually I don't mind when a film takes its time, but as long as it's engaging and I'm still invested, or it's like somewhat interesting. But with this film, I didn't really get a sense of that. Besides Elle Fanning's character, I wasn't as emotionally invested as I think the film wanted me to be, especially in their friendship. I mean, you could tell that they're close friends, and you can tell that Elle Fanning is really struggling with the fact that she's losing her best friend, because she's so upset by the fact that she's dating her dad, who divorces Christina Hendricks. But besides that, I think since there's so much time with Ginger, you don't really get to see anybody else's side of it. You get I feel like it's more surface level with them, but with Ginger, it's a lot more in depth, and you could really see what she's going through. So I feel like that kind of comes with issues with the script, in that you don't really spend enough time with all the other characters to get invested with them. But with Ginger, Elle Fanning's character, they really did a great job in just getting invested in her character and what she's going through. And along with the investment aspect, I really was not a fan of the nuclear war subplot. I didn't really think that intertwined with the story very well at all, and that aspect just wasn't interesting or engaging to me at all. So during those moments, I kind of found myself getting out of the film versus those times when it just honed in on Elle Fanning's eternal struggle. I thought they did that wonderfully. I just wish that the nuclear war subplot wasn't another, like a second main focus, because that seemed to be the two main focuses. And I just wish the focus was put on something else besides that, because it does play a big part in the movie. So, despite all those gripes, I would still recommend this film solely based on Elle Fanning's one amazing awards-worthy performance, along with the great cinematography, and the rest of the cast. So overall, I think I would give this film like a 6.5 out of 10. You know, it's definitely not perfect. It's not like an amazing film, but I definitely think if you're a film lover, you'll appreciate it, especially for the acting aspect. So yeah, that's my review for Ginger and Rosa. Up next, we have A24's third outing, Spring Breakers, and that review will hopefully come up sometime this week. My name's Nick. I'm the A24 addict because I love A24 films, and I would just hope through my channel, because this is my second video that I'm putting on YouTube, I just hope that I'm able to connect with a lot of fellow film lovers and share my passion of movies and film and cinema with you all. So I hope you enjoy my content and continue to follow me on my channel. Thank you.